The Yamaha NS-600A is an absolute engineering marvel. In fact, I'm really glad that I was able to give it a listen. I was again called by the folk at Yamaha. I gave it a listen I think this year in January, I think, or was it last year in December? But it really was quite amazing. I wasn't expecting to be blown away by it because it's just a regular bookshelf speaker. So, I mean, how much sort of expectation can you have going in and listening to it? So, I do have my own set of KEF LS50s, and that's kind of my reference point. So, I really enjoy it. It's a great fun sounding speaker, especially when it's paired with the right amp. So, I didn't think that this could do any much more. But anyway, I did go in, and of course, the gentleman that I interact with at Yamaha, he knows what he's doing. He knows what to do with placement compared to most other guys, man. Like, I've been to some showrooms where people just don't know how to set up things. Some of the best sounding speakers can sound like absolute shit if you don't know how you're placing them. And I've experienced that. In fact, when I went to buy my LS50s, I wanted to hear it before I made my final decision. And the placement was just absolute rubbish, so I went in and did my own thing before I figured that this is the kind of speaker that I want. But anyway, coming back to the Yamaha, now the room that I was listening to this in was kind of more dead than alive. It was well padded. There's a lot of stuff in that room also that was being stored, but it was the speakers were placed a good distance away from the window or the wall behind it. Now, it was more towards, I wouldn't say the center of the room, but almost there, which is usually an interesting placement, because then you're going to get the best stage, you're going to get the best imaging with that kind of setup. It wasn't close to the windows, so it was obviously, for a set of bookshelves, it didn't have the most bass response, but it does have a bass reflex port at the back. So if you do want a lot more bass from these, stick them up close to the wall, 2 feet, 1 foot, 6 inches away if you want that much more bass. Now the thing is, they did not have the official stands that Yamaha recommends. In fact, Yamaha has made stands for these speakers and the 800 series as well, but these were not on those. In fact, these were just on some sort of boxes just placed over there. So it was kind of crude. I must say, the setup was kind of crude. It was paired with the Yamaha amp, but a good one. At that, I forget which one it was paired with, but when it came to listening to it finally and playing back stuff, now here's the thing, the amp over there did not have a coaxial input, so I couldn't feed any of my music into it. What this gentleman was playing back through was Spotify. Now, yes, I wasn't too happy about this. It was not, highest res, it wasn't FLAC, it wasn't, it was obviously compressed stuff. So, I wasn't expecting much from these speakers, but these speakers did amaze me. And where they do amaze is with its imaging, superbly crisp despite listening to compressed music, which means, they are transparent to a certain extent, but not where they'll tell you flat out, this is a crap recording. So some of those tracks were enjoyable despite being compressed. So thanks to how well this imaged, it was able to set layers very well. There was a terrific amount of layering between instruments, between vocals. Certain textures in the music came out very cleanly, very clearly. Also, when you're listening to stuff from Floyd and all that kind of stuff, it's beautifully done. Now the thing is, an element that a lot of people don't realize that stereo is capable of, these speakers were able to do quite effortlessly. So a lot of people usually lean towards surround sound for getting a wider stage, or more height and all that sort of stuff with Atmos. This pair of speakers, with the layout that they had and the placement they had, was freaking me out a bit, because there were sounds I was hearing from maybe a good 8 feet off to the side. I was also surprisingly hearing things up rear toward the back above me. Now technically it shouldn't be able to do that. I for a second did think that there was an active speaker behind me, but it was just the two speakers that were playing back. Now, no doubt I was sitting closer to the rear wall behind me because of the room's layout. And despite these walls being more or less dead, I mean more dead than being able to throw sound off of them or bounce off, I was getting very clear, distinct sounds from even above my shoulder somewhere here. So it was pretty weird that it was able to do that. And by above my shoulder, I mean, it sounded like it was coming from maybe 4.5, 5 feet away from me, over my shoulders these ways. And I've not experienced that with any speakers. I've not really heard a set of speakers that can throw sound with this kind of staging and this kind of imaging. no doubt this kind of stage, if you want that kind of placement, will come at a compromise, which is the lack of bass. And I am completely fine with that, because I don't love bass as much as a lot of people do. And it's because of that it's able to do so much with its imaging and staging. Now, no doubt if you stick it close up to a wall, it's definitely going to start losing the imaging and staging. But it's definitely one of the best speakers I've heard when it comes to how immersive the sound is. And by immersive, I mean it really pulls you into this almost massive sphere around you with sound. No doubt this also depends entirely on what kind of recording you're listening to. I'm pretty sure that if it was paired with FLAC audio, really good recordings, it would be even more sort of immersive. It will be more sort of true. You close your eyes and you're going to be there for sure. So this set of speakers is definitely available in this country and abroad. If you haven't heard it and you are planning on buying it, I would highly recommend at least going for a demo. Now, these speakers are definitely not very affordable for most people. I mean, if you have the money, yeah, great. But if you do want to buy this, at least here in India, I'm seeing it online for anywhere between 2.4 to 2.6 lakhs worth. I think it's well worth it. Now, the thing is, you definitely need to have good hardware to drive these. And another thing that I think is very important, absolutely crucial to do with a set of speakers like this, the NS-600A or even the 800 variant, is burn it in. I know a lot of people are very anti-burn in, but trust me, I have heard the 800s as well, maybe last year sometime, and these hadn't been burned in, and man, they sounded like they needed a lot more time. They weren't impressive sounding. They were like, okay. You know, I genuinely wish that I was able to spend time with the NS-800As after it was burnt in more, or I didn't even mind burning them in myself. But the 600As that I heard were, I think they had gone through a good 200, 250 hours plus burn in. So that is why they were able to do what they were able to do. So, I mean, it's better you do that anyway. So if you do go to a showroom, I'm pretty sure that it would have gone through multiple demos. Hopefully, try and see if you can get a demo on them if you are planning on picking them up or demoing them in general. But I'd say bookshelf speakers for staging and imaging, these are definitely the best I've heard out there. Yes, it is on the pricey side, but I haven't heard anything else that can perform like this. So anyway, I do hope that this video has been enjoyable for you, and I do hope that I've given you a better understanding for the 600As. Very lovely little speakers, of course. And of course, if you do want to buy it, I'll see if I can leave some links down below if it can guide you to where these speakers are, of course. And if you do want to support the channel, I'm sure you know exactly how to. But of course, thank you for tuning in for some sound advice.